Hello, everyone. We're here today. I'm going to start this again. This is my second one after my introduction. And I saw something in the news the last couple of days that kind of struck me as funny. Well, funny. I shouldn't use that word. It's actually tragic, but it seems to be the way the world's working right now. And I say it's looking at the world through rose-colored glasses. I know several people that are like that. Some in my immediate family, and this particular story starts with, and I don't know if you've heard it or not, but there was a couple that were from D.C. and I've got their names here somewhere, and I underlined it and everything. Okay, yeah, Americans Jay Austen and Lauren Geoghegan were killed in Tajikistan while cycling there. And the story goes that they were doing this worldwide cycling event to prove that humans are kind. I believe the man wrote in a blog at some point that let's see, oh, doggone it, yeah, let's see here. What did they say? Okay. It says while there is no evidence that the couple set out to prove anything on their trip, it is true that Austin and Gia Gargan appear to have been struck many times by the generosity and thoughtfulness of some of the strangers they encountered. Now, he wrote a blog back in, I believe it was a couple of years ago. It says, I've grown tired of meetings, of teleconferencing, of timesheets and password changes, and Monday morning elevator commiseration. It says, I've missed too many sunsets while my back was turned. I mean, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? Okay? Now, what he says is, they're going out here to prove, he believes that they inherently believe that people are good. Okay? And that's great. That's great. I couldn't agree more. I think deep down most people are. But you also have to be very careful. This is called naivety. Don't you find it odd that they didn't have they're from D.C. I don't know where they worked. I don't have any idea. But wouldn't you think you would look in, maybe check out the places you're going to visit? It seems like they were naive. And they're doing a worldwide bike tour. They quit their jobs. They quit their jobs. You show me someone that you know who could quit their job and go on a worldwide tour on a bicycle. You know how much that costs? So obviously we're talking about very well-off people, very naive well-off people, in my opinion. I can't imagine anyone doing this. You want to bicycle through Canada? Maybe. I don't know. Around the United States? I don't even know if I do it around the United States. This is just naive. They were trying to prove that humans are good, because what they were saying is, and it says, okay, here's something he says. You read the papers, and you're led to believe that the world is a big, scary place. Now, this is Austin. Okay. People, the narrative goes, are not to be trusted. People are bad. People are evil. He says, I don't buy it. Evil is a make-believe concept. Make-believe concept were invented to deal with the complexities of fellow humans holding values and beliefs and perspectives different than our own. By and large, humans are kind. Self-interested sometimes, myopic sometimes, but kind. Generous and wonderful and kind. I don't know about you, but that is one of the most naive things I've ever heard anyone write, especially in this day and age. Can you really believe that someone, I don't know what these ages of these people are, but it has to be in their 30s. I would think it would be, because if you're able to accumulate enough wealth to do a trip like this had to cost, not only the cost of the trip, but imagine your bills piling up while you're at home. These people were very well off. Very well off. And you didn't think to check to see if Tajikistan, and I may be mispronouncing that, but it's a satellite of Russia, heavily Muslim. Of course it is. I'm not a world traveler, and I know that I would not go there. There are several places in the world I would not go, and I can name them. Just off the top of my head: Somalia, Yemen, Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, in certain places. I mean, come on. I mean, how naive do you have to be? Now, I will say this: if they had come back, I'm sure that the narrative would be completely different. It would be, oh, people around the world are wonderful, and I'm not saying there are no good people in this particular country. That's probably true. But I can also tell you this: there are good people in the United States, and I don't think I would bicycle in downtown Chicago in the middle of the night. Would you? So there we go. Where are we? Where are we as a country? Are we naive? I think we are. I think there's a whole generation that doesn't have a clue what's going on out here. They're influenced by political stands, they left or right slant on things. It's ridiculous. This is just common sense. And they may have been highly educated and have tremendous IQs, but at the end of the day, they were pretty stupid. I don't think there's anyone that I would talk to or that's going to listen to this that's going to disagree with that. That's looking through the world with rose-colored glasses. That's a mistake. There are evil people in this world. Evil does exist. It may not be right next door. It could be. It could be well hidden. It could be well hidden. I mean, think about it. Think of the pedophilia that goes on in Hollywood that we've seen here just lately. The sexual abuse, all of this. That doesn't make every producer or every director a predator. But it does mean that there's a lot of them. Think about it. Think about it. Just in the last couple of weeks, there was a big story out of Pennsylvania about the Catholic Church. 3,000, what was it, 300, yeah, I think it was 300 priests had abused, what, 1,000 children over a period of time back years ago. I think that some of it was prior to statute of limitations. But there's been a lot of people coming forward and making the Catholic Church look absolutely horrible. Tell me that evil doesn't exist. Of course it does. Especially people who have positions of power. They really do. Evil does exist. These people were, I guess, for lack of a better word, I guess naive is the best word to use. They were obviously rich to some degree. There's no, you name me, and I keep going back to this, but think about it. In your own circle of friends, do you know of anyone that could quit their job and go on a worldwide tour? Of course not. Of course not. There may be a handful in the country that could do that. What, are you going to turn your back on your family and your responsibilities at home? I'm not saying you have to keep this, as he put it, this job where I worried about things that were silly and I missed sunsets. Then change your job. They were going on a tour to prove that humans were better than has been portrayed, and I don't think it's going to work out. Had they come to me and asked me, I would have said that's a mistake. You're going to bicycle through some of the most dangerous areas in the world. Nah, why would you do that? That's craziness. That's craziness. So we're naive. We're naive. This is just one example of it. It really makes me feel bad. It does. There's a part of me that says, I wish that they were right. I wish that the world was good. I wish I was, but what? I wish I still had I wish I still looked at the world the way I did when I was 5 years old. I really do. It was a great place. Everybody was nice. Everybody was funny. No one wanted to do anything wrong. But I grew up. I found out that is not the way it works at all. Not even close. So this couple, the reason I brought this up is because I don't know if you know who Snopes is, and you probably do. It's a fact-checking company. I think that does work for Facebook, and they're supposed to somehow or other tell me what's true and what's not. I mean, it's ridiculous. Snopes is run by a company. I've seen the picture of the guy that runs it and the woman. The woman's, large woman, got a cat on her shoulder. The husband's a skinny little guy. They dreamt this up. and they've got a lot of people working for them. It's mainly a I think it's run by donations, things like that, and they're supposed to be the end all be all in what's true. Well, that's ridiculous because they're slanted. They're progressive. They're liberal. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. Not that that's a bad thing. I was a liberal and have been my whole life. But this is nonsense because when you write things like this, that you're going to, he did not necessarily sit out and say, I'm going to go out and prove this. That's true. He didn't do that. But they led you to believe that's what they were looking for. Okay. All right. So the world is evil. I don't know what to tell you. It truly is. And being naive about it does not make it go away. That's all I'm saying. You need to use your head. You need to use some common sense. You need to believe that little gut, that voice inside of you, you need to listen to it. You really do. Because at the end of the day, that voice usually is telling you the truth. Whenever I've gone with my gut, I've never been wrong. This was a mistake on their part. I feel sorry for them. I feel sorry for the families. But it's basically their own fault. They walked into it. And I think that the news is trying to slant it, depending on the venue. They're trying to slant it as they weren't really trying to do that. Yes, they were, and it's all a left-right nonsense as far as I'm concerned. At the end of the day, it's common sense. You don't do things like this. I really don't feel sorry for them to the degree that they're wanting me to. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So that's about all I've got to say about that. I guess that rolls over into something else I was thinking about, and it really has to do with the politics of the day. We've reached a point in our country where there's a derangement. It seems to be that there's no give and take, and I find that really sad. And again, common sense would tell you that why don't we do what's best for everybody? And it seems like we won't. We just don't want to. So well, that's for another day. But again, looking through the world of rose-colored glasses is a mistake. I'd like to think that there are people who are kind, and I wish all humanity was, but it's not. And the sooner you learn that, the better off you'll be. So I guess that ends it for today, and I will talk to you later. You can look for this as a podcast as well on Anchor, and if you would, subscribe to this channel and like this video. That would help quite a bit, and I believe that's all I've got to say today. Always remember, and what I say about myself is, sure, I'm crazy, but what if I'm right? So we're trucking through life, and we'll see you next time.